Recording in
This is question 12 of the May IEB exam. And this question is part of your analytical geometry. Basically, I'm just continuing with this paper over here. We are required in A to determine the equation of the circle. However, here we can't use coordinates. We actually have to use the equation that we are given and then complete the square. We need to complete the square. We've got this equation over here, and to complete the square, we just follow simple steps. The first step wants you to isolate the constant. If on the left-hand side of this equation you have a constant value, get rid of it. To get rid of it, it means that you isolate it, you take it to the right-hand side. And that has already been done for us because we do have negative 46, which is a constant on the right-hand side. Step number 2. If there are any coefficients of x squared or y squared, divide by them. It's highly unlikely that when they ask you to complete the square, especially where you have different variables in one equation, that they will give you the coefficients of y squared and x squared. Here they just 1, so we don't need to do that. And step 3, add a constant value, which is half times the coefficient of either x or y. Actually, the coefficients of both, you need to add them. Whatever you get there, you square it. So it's half the coefficient of s squared, and the other one will be half the coefficient of y squared. When I talk about the coefficient of x, it will be negative 14. You will take that, multiply it by a half, and then the answer that you get there, you square it. I'm currently busy with, actually, I've just completed exponents with the grade 8. Why I always emphasize that if your exponent is an even number, whatever number you have inside the bracket, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, it will come out positive. And that's what I did here. I added the coefficients. Now, you don't just add the coefficients to each part, you add it on both the left-hand side and the right-hand side. To x squared minus 14x, I added half of negative 14 and I squared the answer. And to y squared minus 2y, I added half of negative 2. Half of negative 2 is 1, and I squared that. And I did that on both sides. Half of negative 14 squared will give you 49, which I added on the right-hand side. And half of negative 2 squared will give me 1, which is what I added on the right-hand side. I'll end up having this equation over here. Then I'm going to factorize that equation. You will notice that the first 3 terms, they will form what we call a perfect square, and the last 3 terms on the left-hand side will form a perfect square as well. Now factorize the first 3 terms, you will get x minus 7 and x minus 7. That is because 49 is positive. Since the last term is positive, I am simply going to find the factors of the last term, that when I add, they should give me 14, but both brackets will take the sign of the middle number, which is negative. Similarly here, find the factors of 1. When you add them, they should give you 2, and both brackets will take the sign of this middle term here, which is 2. You will get to this, and when you factorize, you will get that. Notice that when you take x minus 7 times x minus 7. You're multiplying bases that are the same. You are therefore required to add the exponent. We've got an exponent of 1 there, even though it's not written. We've got an exponent of 1 there, even though it's not written. You just add them. Similarly, y minus 1 and y minus 1 is the same base. Then exponent of 1 there, you take it, you add it with this exponent of 1 over there. And that will give you y minus 1 squared is equal to 4. And this is all we need. And this is the standard form of your circle, the equation of the circle, where 4 is r squared and 7 and 1 will be the coefficients, will be the coordinates of the center. Now, to find the radius, you will just take that 4 and find the square root of 4, and your radius will simply be equal to 2. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Kgotso.